Hey, so I was thinking today about probably what the title of this video is down below. Whatever. Alright, so what do you really need to be a programmer? What do you need to know? And why do people have so much trouble? Why is it so hard? I was thinking about these sort of things. Why are there so few of us in general? And when one of us, you know, why are we all so like cocky when we are programmers? Well, there's like two things. There's like two things you need to know about this, or we'll say there's two sides to programming. There's two like really important things that make you a programmer, and a lot of people have one of them but don't have the other. And it's something I'm starting to see more and more. And I know which one's my strength and I know which one's my weakness of these two sides. And the two different things are, there's like, okay, so if you look way back in the history of when programming started, when computers were first starting to be a thing back in like 50s, 60s, 70s, the very first programmers were not actually programmers. They were just like really smart people, mathematicians. They were business people. They were well-educated people, and they were also really devoted, and there were people that were willing to spend a lot of time and a lot of effort on a problem and just stay committed. They weren't like fly by the seat of your pants type people. They were really thinking about things. And and then programming came later. The whole oh, let's get a degree in programming came later, after like computers were starting to get big. So the point of this is, programming is kind of a fad word. Being a programmer isn't what actually, how do I say this? It's not what actually makes you a programmer or someone worth hiring as a programmer. You saying I have a degree in something, a degree in programming, or I'm really good at programming, doesn't really mean much. What means a lot more is I understand the algorithms, I'm good at math, and I'm good at problem solving. That means a lot more than I'm a programmer. This is a subject I've been thinking about quite a bit. So the two different sides. You're a devoted person who's good at math and good at problem solving and good at coming up with solutions to weird problems that don't have an obvious solution. And then there's, oh, I know this language. Like I know Java, I know C++, I know JavaScript. None of that really means crap. Like, I'm really good at C++. That's like my thing. I've been studying it. I've been studying the language. I've been studying everything it does. And often there were a lot of times when I got stuck on things and I didn't understand them. And I was like, but I get all the syntax. I understand what it's doing. I understand what the code is doing. I understand the pointer. But there's something here I'm not wrapping my head around. And it's because my weakness is the other side. I tend to be pretty good at problem solving. I tend to be pretty good at coming up with innovative solutions. I tend to be pretty good at that sort of thing. But maybe there was a bit of lack of commitment. I give up a bit too quickly and go play video games or something. So that tends to be more of my problem. Or I don't know the math quite well enough. I've always been pretty good at math, but I'm not like the best mathematician in the world or anything. I can usually like just look up stuff or know a pretty good general thing. I don't, that's not a good explanation, but the point is I'm not a mathematician. And I consider myself a programmer, and I'm starting to see that this is kind of a disadvantage, that I need to stop studying programming is what this comes down to. And I need to start studying the other side that's my weakness, that is like just the hard math and the hard logic, because I'm pretty good with basic logic. I'm probably even pretty good with medium, we'll say medium logic, but when it gets hard, that's where I kind of drop off. So, but and at that point, when you're into a concept that's so difficult, that's so mathematically like abstract, and has so many layers and so many things going on, it doesn't matter how well you know the language. You can't come up with the solution because you can't wrap your head around the solution, even if you know every bit of the language. So those are the two sides, and just some thoughts that I hope help some newer programmers out there. This is something I sort of recently fully realized. I mean, it's something that you are kind of told, but it's a lot to try to learn everything at once. If you already have one of these skills, if you're already really good at math or logic, programming comes a lot easier. Like the inventor of a lot of these languages, the inventor of all the early object-oriented languages, and none of those guys were programmers or considered themselves programmers. They were just trying to come up with a solution to the problem of how to get these computers to work, and it turned out to be a programming language, and then the whole programming fad came later. Pretty interesting stuff to think about. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more random programming videos, random tutorials, please hit the subscribe button. Take it easy and keep studying, keep coding. You got this.